to speak.
Do you like the hatching of new desire? Do you like the refinement that your life causes within you? The always asking for more? And are you at one with the idea that there will always be a new asking to which you are not quite up to speed? Your life causes within you. You get it? That that's what always eternalness is really all about. So your life is serving you well then, yes? Because it's causing frequent hatches of new desires. And so are you patient about the desire that is not manifested? Well, we don't want you to become complacent about it, but when you understand that if this time-space reality has caused you to focus a desire into being, it can be what you want to call a see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it reality. In other words, it doesn't just have to be a dream that you feel good about. It can be a reality that you sleep with or park in your garage or in other words, we want desires to be born, but we want you to be all right with the desire that hasn't manifested fully, because we want you to be satisfied with the early manifestations of your desires. And what are the earliest signs of manifestations? More ideas coming, more ideas coming. The contrast, of course, is the earliest of all. The contrast is what gives birth to it. But once you've given birth to it, you've got to begin to line up with it. Otherwise, you can't realize it. You won't recognize it. You can't sniff it out. You can't be on the trail of it. You can't want it and doubt it and be moving toward it. When you want it and doubt it, you're moving away from it. When you want it and feel nervous about it, you're not allowing yourself to be in the receptive mode of realizing it. And the reason that that word realize is such a good word is because your path is being revealed to you all the time. In other words, the source within you knows what you've asked for and knows where you stand in relationship to what you've asked for, and is giving you continual guidance about how to close that gap between the wanting it and the full realization of it. You have come into these physical bodies because you expected full realization of ideas. That's why it is a time and space reality. That's why you have these physical senses to translate the realism into its fullest form. You're following us? So when a vibration is translated by you, the first thing that happens is you'll have a thought about it. And in the moment that the thought comes, you'll have an emotional manifestation, which is the indicator of how on pitch you are vibrationally with your desire. Now, your desires you launched incrementally. You moved through life, have been for quite a while. You even had launched desires about your future life experience, even before you came into this physical body. So there was a well-imagined path already in place that you intended to come into this body, integrate with others, and realize fully through all of your physical senses. So when you got here, your physical senses were working so well, you didn't even realize that you were an expert vibrational translator. You just thought that you were seeing and hearing and smelling and tasting and touching. You didn't realize that you were translating vibration into a reality. Well, you've been banging around here for quite a long time, and there are so many people who still don't realize that this is a vibrational universe and that you are first and foremost vibrational. And because most don't realize that you are vibrational, then most try to control the environment through action, through behavior, mostly through controlling others to get others to conform to your idea of what you want. But it's really a rare person who really gets it, that you are a vibrational being who has the ability to control your vibrational output through focus. And that when you control your vibrational output, you also control what comes into you in terms of a realized life. Because the law of attraction, the most powerful law in the universe, really the one we talk about mostly, says that whatever you are vibrationally emitting is what is coming back to you. Because in your emanation, you set a vibration that equals your receiving. Now, we have not said that to you before. Do you know that you set your receptive mode by your transmission mode? What you focus on is how you focus your dial. So you can't be saying one thing and getting another. You can't be thinking one thing and getting another. You can't be feeling one thing and getting another. The universe does not hear your words. The universe is responding to your vibrational output. So as you are offering this signal based upon what you are giving your attention to, whether it is in the past as you are remembering it, or in the present as you are observing it, or in the future as you may be imagining it, it doesn't matter. You're doing it right now. It's causing you to emit a signal now. That signal equals your point of attraction now, and the whole universe is queued up to respond to that vibration. Now, the reason that we want to talk to you about vibration is not because we want you to be guarded about it right here, right now. In the beginning of you listening to us, so often you would realize that you do create your own reality. And first you would say, oh, good. And then you would say, oh, no, because you realized you did not really have steady control of what you're emitting. And then some of you, as we said, you create your own reality, began going, cancel, trying to suck things back before the universe got hold of them and delivered them to you in full manifested form. But now you are beginning to realize that you have leeway, that yes, you're offering vibration about wanted and unwanted, but you stand in a stable place. And so mostly what we want you to take away from this conversation is that you can be more practiced than most of you are being. And the thing that would help you to emit the vibration, the one you want to emit, meaning the one that you want to be answered, the easiest way to do that is by caring, really caring about how you feel. Because when you care about how you feel, you're alert to your emotions. You're alert to your emotions, which are your guidance system. Your guidance system, which is giving you constant, in the moment feedback between what you've asked for. Another way of saying that is all that you have already vibrationally become, and what you're allowing yourself to realize in its full manifested form. That is as clear as we've ever said it. In other words, you want to be aware of that gap. And you don't need to think about closing it tightly all the time, because you can't. Life is causing you to expand continually. You're never going to completely close that gap. So here's how it works. You sift through life. You know what you don't want, which causes you to know what you do want. You emit a signal about it. And vibrationally speaking, you become an integrated being with that new desire that you have discovered.
Wow, here we are. Woke Wednesday's back. Let me just spotlight myself. There we go. Perfect. How is everyone doing? I am so grateful and so excited to be back here tonight with you guys. It's been like a month since we've done Woke Wednesday, and I just want to say that thank you to you guys for jumping on. I see some new faces. I see some old faces. Thank you, Dom, for jumping on. Hopefully some more people jump on, but it is being streamed live to the YouTube channel, and I am here on Instagram Live if you guys need to share it. I really want to start tonight by dropping what you're grateful for, because I feel like a lot of us have kind of maybe been hibernating right? It's been winter, it's spring, and now we're coming out, and we've been focusing maybe a lot on other things, right? So let's focus on what we're grateful for, because what we focus on grows. I'm grateful for my higher self. I love that. I love that. Another 24, perspective, my family, great coaches, health. Those are amazing things to be grateful for, guys. I am grateful for my health. I am grateful for my happiness. I am grateful for everything that is coming my way, every opportunity that is presented to me. I am super grateful for my wealth, for my team, for my family. I am super grateful for this life, right? Just to be living, to be breathing, right? So make sure that you're practicing gratitude constantly. So another thing that I wanted to start the call off with, besides Abraham, because we always start with Abraham. For those of you who don't know who Abraham is a collective consciousness that is channeled by Esther and Jerry Hicks, a couple who found Abraham, or they named the collective consciousness Abraham, through meditation. And it's really, really amazing. If you guys don't know who Abraham is, maybe you've heard of the book Ask and It Is Given. Amazing book. Go check it out if you're just like getting into your spiritual journey, or you have questions about your spirituality or your higher self, or you just want to learn more. Abraham is an amazing way to get yourself involved in the spiritual world. Or you can just go on YouTube like I do, or if you are a part of Spotify, they have a podcast. But really, really amazing. So as I was doing before, you guys on the Zoom could see, I was cleansing everyone's auras and everyone's chakras. So I'm just going to quickly light the sage again. If you guys don't do this, this is an amazing thing that you guys should do every so often. You don't have to do it all the time. But lighting sage or Palo Santo, which I have as well, just kind of clears the energy in the room, clears the energy from the day of other energies that came into your field that you might not want necessarily. So I'm just going to distantly clear your aura, clear your chakras, and this should be really helpful. I wish you guys could smell it. It smells amazing. All right. Yes, sage. Okay. So I'm just going to let that burn itself out. So I wanted to start today by talking about the fact that, of course, you guys have probably noticed that we haven't done Woke Wednesday in a while, right? And the main reason being was, in my opinion, I was pouring from a cup that was not filled, right? And that wouldn't have been fair for me to keep doing that for you guys, my audience. I love you guys so much. I want to give you my all the time. And I wasn't in a place spiritually, energetically, vibrationally to be pouring out. I needed to replenish. I wasn't replenishing as much as I was giving, and it was burning me out. Right. So I've been focusing a lot on my personal growth. I've been focusing a lot on my just spirituality and myself, my higher self. I started meditating a little bit more, just being alone with myself. And that's been really helpful. And I did a chakra balancing with this amazing woman, and shout out to Gail Garcia. She's amazing. It was the first time I ever went to her. I've done chakra balancing before, but I figured, let me try something different. Let me go to someone different. Let me try something different. And I think that our energies just matched really well. And after a few days of the chakra balancing, I felt amazing, right? I've been just like in momentum, right? Whereas as in before, I was a little bit steered away from momentum, almost like depressed in a sense. Like, I don't even know how else to explain it, but just feeling like I wasn't my all, right? I wasn't giving my all. I wasn't fulfilled enough. And, that's the topic I really want to discuss tonight on Woke Wednesday, and a little bit about what Abraham was saying. Yeah, like what Donnie was saying. Just I have more clarity now for sure. And thank you, Donnie. Me and Donnie had a talk the other day. So we're definitely in alignment. And I love that. That means that, most of you on this call, if you're here tonight, that means that something that is going to be said is in alignment with you, right? Because what we focus on grows, what we are looking for, what we want attracts to us. So something here tonight is going to click with you. And I'm really grateful that you are all here, each and every single one of you. So again, thank you so much for supporting me, for always being there when I need you guys. I'm so grateful that there's even people on this call tonight. I was going to do it regardless. But yeah, let's stick to the topic. So with Abraham, I literally listen to Abraham every single day. Like instead of music, the past 2 days, I've been listening to them in my car. I've been listening to them at the gym. Like if someone pulled up to me at a stoplight, they probably thought I was like a weirdo, because instead of bumping like my typical rap, I was bumping Abraham. And like it was really funny. So I definitely have my windows rolled down too, because it's been super beautiful, and I'm so grateful for the weather here in New York. So if you guys are from the Northeast, you know that we are super excited that the sun has finally come out. So I'm super, super grateful for that. I feel like that was an awakening as well, like the season change. Seasonal depression is a real thing. So if you guys want to talk about it, hit me up. I'm always down to talk. But I do have some notes tonight because, again, I could ramble, but I really had some key things I wanted to talk about. And I heard a podcast from Abraham actually today. And today wasn't the first day that I thought that this was going to be a good topic for Woke Wednesday, but it just kind of solidified everything for me, because I feel like the past few months, although I've been thinking that I've been focusing on what I want, I've actually been doing the opposite and not knowing that I was doing the opposite. Now, this might be hard for you to understand, and I'm going to explain, because it's not like I'm like, oh, I want bad things to happen to me. I want to be whatever, in debt or in a, bad relationship or whatever it is for you. Like I wasn't saying those things, but you'll understand what I mean in a second. So I was listening to one of these podcasts by Abraham, and they were discussing wants versus don't wants. Now, for those of you who practice spirituality and practice self-improvement and self-growth, you know that what we focus on grows, right? How many of you guys have heard of the law of attraction? Drop some ones in the chat. Law of attraction, the laws of the universe, right? What is the law of attraction state? What you put out, you get back, right? You attract what you think about. You attract what you think about. How many of you, have heard we become what we think about most of the time? And it's so true. Even if you don't think that you are, your subconscious has so much to do with what comes out physically in your life, right? So let's just take a step back for a moment and just go back to what we focus on grows. So in this podcast, and I had to re-listen to it twice, because when I first heard it, I was like, wow, that was good. The second time I heard it, I was like, this needs to be shared. And then the third time I heard it, I was like, okay, now I really get it and I'm able to teach it. So the podcast was this man, right? And I could play it, but I'm going to talk about it. Hold on one second. There shouldn't be a password. Hold on. Let me see here. I don't think there's a password. Hold on. Like, you should just be able to get on. Give me 1 second, guys, because I want everyone. If not, get on IG. I'm on IG Live, or you can watch from the YouTube. The YouTube channel is Trade House Queens. And you can go on YouTube and watch. I'm on there live right now. So a man was on the podcast asking, because Abraham does seminars, right? And he was asking, he was saying, actually, I work with a lot of people who are dying. And Abraham said, so do we. Everyone's dying. And he rephrased it and he said, well, I work with a lot of people who, they don't want to live anymore. Okay. And there's a difference. And so Abraham said, well, why do they want to die? And the man responded by saying, because they don't want to be a burden anymore. They say they don't feel good anymore. And Abraham was like, no, they don't want to feel not good anymore. They don't want to be a burden. Those are things that they don't want. But why do they want to die? You see how there's a difference there? And I'm going to give another example, because the first time I heard it, I was a little like, what? And Abraham said, because a good response would have been, because they want to be relieved, because they want to be in touch with their higher self, because they want to be at peace, right? So the more that they were focused on the fact that they don't want to be a burden, they don't want to feel sick, was preventing them from getting what they actually wanted, which was to be at peace, to be relieved of pain, right? So do you see how we can switch up the way we ask for the things that we want? I'm going to give you another example. This was really, really interesting, and I'll share the podcast as well. It's on Spotify. So another example was Esther was asking Abraham, who she channels. One day she was, at her home, and she said, I want it to rain, Abraham. I want it to rain. And Abraham responded by saying, well, why? Why do you want it to rain? And Esther said, because all of the trees and the flowers are whimpering. The grass is brown. The plants are dying. And Abraham said, no, those are all the reasons why you don't want it to rain. Because you don't want the grass to be brown. You don't want the trees to whimper and the flowers to whimper. Rephrase that. Why do you want it to rain? Well, I want it to rain because I want all of the animals to have water to drink, and I want the flowers to bloom, and I want the trees and the leaves to be green again, and I want the grass to grow and be green. That is why you want it to rain, not because the grass is brown and the trees are whimpering. Those are the reasons why you don't want it to rain. Are you guys following this? Because at first, like I said, it was a little hard to understand, but I understood it. And it got me thinking about why. Hi, everyone. It got me understanding a little bit more, because I have been practicing law of attraction and the laws of the universe and meditation and asking for what I want. And I feel like I haven't gotten what I really wanted yet. And I've been searching for the answers. I've been endlessly searching, and this podcast gave me my answer. I was not asking correctly. Instead of asking for the things that I didn't want indirectly, because our subconscious mind has so much to do with how we get things physically, right? And when your thoughts don't align with your wants, you're neutralizing it. When your thoughts don't align with your wants, you're neutralizing it. So if you want something and you don't believe you can have it, or you think the opposite, you're not going to receive that. So by me knowing what I don't want means that I know what I do want. But when I'm asking, instead of saying to myself or saying out loud, I don't want this type of a person in my life anymore. I don't want abusive relationships. I don't want to be to live in lack. I don't want to not be able to travel. I don't want to. By saying those things that way, that's exactly what I was receiving. Because I was focusing on the things that I didn't want instead of focusing on the things that I did want. Which brings me to my next point, which I kind of just mentioned. When we know what we don't want, that means we kind of know what we do want. I used to struggle a lot with knowing what I wanted. Like, what do you really, really want? Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's really hard to think, well, what do I want? Okay, so what do you not want? And you can make a list, wants and don't wants, right? And even if you don't know what you want, just by understanding what you don't want means you kind of know what you do want, because you want the opposite of what you don't want, right? If I don't want an abusive relationship, what do I want? A positive one, a nurturing relationship. So in my asking for not abusive people in my life anymore, instead of saying that, ask the universe, ask my higher self for more nurturing relationships. So that's what I've been doing. I've been asking for more nurturing relationships, not asking for not abusive relationships or not positive relationships, right? What we focus on grows. So focus on what you want instead of what you don't want. And I promise you, things are going to start to change. Just your feeling about it is going to start to change, right? And the belief, you have to believe wholeheartedly. Because like I said, if you believe one thing and want another, you're neutralizing that thought. You're neutralizing that attraction. There's no attraction going to be made. It's done. You're canceling it out, right? Your thought and belief have to align. Your want and belief have to align. Okay? We're vibrational beings. Everything is vibration. Everything is energy. So when you are putting your energy on something, you have to believe in it. You have to believe in it. Okay. What flows grows. And these are just all little things that help remind myself so that I could stay in alignment, right? So you have to keep the flow, even if, you have a day, right? Let's just say you have a day, because we all have days, right? You want to try to catch yourself in that. Can you become aware of what's going on? Can you become aware that you are in like a low vibration, right? If you can be aware that you're in a low vibration, then you can change it, right? So, moral of the story being, we want to focus on the wants and not the not wants or the don't wants. And it's kind of tricky, and it was tricky for me, and it's still a little tricky. Like, I'm still just getting it. Like, okay, the whole rain scenario that I was telling you about, that was a tricky one. Like, okay, yeah, why do you want it to rain? Because the trees are whimpering, the flowers are not blooming, the grass is brown. And I'm repeating it because repetition is key, guys. But that's why you don't want it to rain. Why do you want to change your life? Because I'm broke, and because I don't feel good about myself, and because da 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 da. Well, no, those are all the reasons why you don't want to progress, right? But why do you want to? Because I want to be fulfilled, because I want to help people, because I want to feel optimistic and motivated, right? That is the things that you want, not the other side. So this can be a little bit tricky, but I promise you, if you practice this, write a list. Write the list of wants and don't wants, and practice saying the wants instead of the don't wants. Because when you focus on the don't wants are what's going to come, right? What we focus on grows. You want to focus on what you want. And how do you figure out what you want? How do you know if what you want is what you really want? Ask yourself, why do I want this? The why is more important than the what. Okay? The why is more important than the what. So you can say, I want money. I want abundance. Okay. Why? Why do you want money? Why do you want abundance? Ask yourself this. It's rhetorical. I want to drive the car of my dreams. I want a Lamborghini truck. I want to live in Spain. I want to live in a beautiful home that I built. I want to stay home with my children. These are the things, these are the whys. And you may resonate with these, you might not. Everyone's story and everyone's journey is different. But I encourage you highly to think about the way you've been asking for things. Have you been receiving the things that you want? Or have you been receiving more of what you don't want? Because I know for me personally, and I just get real with you guys on these calls, like personally, I have been in a state of just like neutralizing. Because I've been thinking I've been asking for the right things when all along I've been asking for things the wrong way. So I've been receiving more of what I don't want. And more of what I don't want, 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 and more of what I don't want. Is this resonating with you guys? How many of you have been feeling like you haven't been receiving what you want this season? How many of you, be real, be honest with yourself. And if you have, that's amazing. That is so amazing. That means you are in the receptive mode. That means you are highly vibrating, and I commend you, and I am grateful, and I'm happy for you. But that hasn't been my story the past few months, personally. Right? We've had a huge shift in the universe. We've had a lot of things going on in universal consciousness and awareness. And for people who are empathic, I'm empathic, and I know most of you probably are too. That's why you tune into Woke Wednesdays. You've been, a toll has been taken on your soul. Trust and believe, because little bits and pieces of you have been being spread out to the universe. All of us who have been speaking about collective consciousness and who have been talking about universal awareness and all these things, our energies have been depleted, and we need to replenish them. We need to replenish them. So make sure that you're replenishing your energy. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Please, please, please be selfish. Be selfish. I have been told so many times how selfish I am, because I do the things that I want and I don't let anyone stop me. And sometimes that makes me not have a good relationship with some people or get into arguments with some people, because I do what I want and I don't say sorry for it. I don't apologize for it. And that's not being selfless. That's fulfilling self. It's okay to be selfish if it's for your advantage and growth as a person, not to be mean to other people, but to grow yourself.
Jenna,
Who's talking?
it's me, Mario. Yo, what's good, Jenna?
What's up, RJ?
How are you?
I'm amazing. How are you?
Doing good, yo. It's good to see you on the VC.
Yes. Oh my God, this is so funny.
Was there something going on in here?
I'm on my Woke Wednesday.
Oh, on the leaders call right now, or like on this?
I don't even know where you're talking to me from right now.
I'm talking to you on Discord. You're in the Discord voice chat.
Oh my God, am I really?
Yeah.
I have no idea how that's happening.
Wait, are you like literally talking on a call?
I'm literally live on Woke Wednesday right now. YouTube, IG live.
Jenna, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. I'm like
so
bruh.
dead right now.
Yo, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go.
It's all good. Special guest RJ. Let's drop some sevens in the chat. Well,
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I don't know how that's happening or like what even voice is on Discord, but that's happening. So that just means that this message needed to be heard. Okay. I'm just going to keep going. Anywho, what we focus on grows. Guys, now I just got all thrown off. Love you, RJ. That's so funny. Donnie, you're going to have to like help me out explain to me what the hell just went on. But yeah, like thinking in that lack mindset, like completely like had me for a little bit, right? It had me for a little bit. It really did. And just understanding the difference between what what you're focusing on and how you're asking for the things that you want is going to totally change the game for you. So make sure that you're aware of how you're asking for the things that you want, and you're not indirectly asking for the things that you don't want, because it's really easy and simple to do it that way. As you guys can see through the examples that I gave you and through my own personal, story of the things that I don't want and how I was asking for them and not understanding why I was receiving more and more of what I didn't want, and like trying so hard to align myself with my higher self and align myself with what I do want. I was indirectly receiving the things that I still didn't want, because my beliefs and my thoughts weren't aligned with my wants, and the way I was asking for them, I wasn't getting them, right? It wasn't the right way. So if you are in a stage where you're not receiving the things that you want, check yourself. How am I asking for these things? How am I living? Am I believing, it's okay to take a step back? And this is what we were talking about before I got cut off by whatever that was. Being selfish. It's okay to be selfish. Like I said before, I have been told that I am selfish so many times, and I just think to myself, I know I'm not being selfish. I know I'm a good person. I am actually one of the best people I know, and I will be the first to admit that and say that. I am a giver. I do as much as I possibly can for everyone around me, my friends, my family. Those of you who are around me know that about me. So I know I'm not a bad person, but sometimes most of the time, I take a lot of time for myself. And that is totally okay, because I'm in a stage of growth and in a stage of understanding my independence and learning what that really means for me. And it takes some figuring out, right? And, your season is not going to be the same as someone else's season. So don't compare yourself, and just really focus on understanding and knowing yourself and how you ask for things. With that being said, since we haven't done this in a while, I'm super excited to do a meditation. So if you don't want to meditate, that's totally fine. You're more than willing to hop off. But I am going to start a quick meditation. It'll probably be about 10 minutes or so. If you do want to stick around for the meditation, just make sure you get yourself in a comfortable position. Maybe dim the lights. I'll give you guys a minute to get comfortable seated. You could turn your cameras off. You might want to lay down. Whatever feels comfortable to you. Maybe just start to take some mindful, deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And just get yourself in a relaxed and comfortable state. And we're going to start the meditation now.
Conscious white girl in the living room. We should call 911.
That's going to take a second. But again, just get in your comfortable position. I'm super excited to do this. Next week, I'll do the meditation myself. All right, guys, here we go. Enjoy.
Joining me for this meditation to help you start your day. Our subconscious mind is most active and some say most impressionable right after we wake up. This gives us a tremendous opportunity to impact how the rest of our day plays out. We can set a positively focused intention that's in alignment with and supports the type of day we'd like to have. So to get started, get into a position you can comfortably hold for a bit. If you are doing this meditation shortly after waking up, be sure you're not in a position you'd otherwise fall back to sleep in. Gently close your eyes. Begin to take deep, refreshing breaths, allowing each breath to ease you into a still, focused state. Turning all of your attention inward, making yourself your first priority in this moment. Your only focus is your well-being. As you continue to breathe this way, notice the journey of your breath through your body, how it feels as it weaves in and out of your cells, muscles, and joints. Feeling the groundedness and connectedness in these areas. Allowing the breath to ease and release any tightness or tension you may be feeling. Be aware of any judgments that might come up as you do this. It's natural for this to happen, so instead of judging the judgment, simply acknowledge that it's there and then let it drift away, replacing it with loving thoughts for how your body will support you through this day, too. Now that we've grounded physically, let's focus on our internal intention for the day. Most of the time when we think of intention, we think about the thing we want to get or experience. But what's fascinating is that most often, we don't actually want the thing. We want the way the thing makes us feel. So begin to focus now on how you'd like to feel today. It can be tempting in this process to focus on what you don't want. So if you notice yourself doing that, it's okay. Simply let that pass and then refocus on what you do want. Perhaps you want a day filled with ease, peace, joy, and flow. Tap into the feelings you want to experience today. And as you do, allow yourself time with each one, sitting in that feeling. Allow it to fill up your entire body and heart. Now, how do you want to feel when the day is done? Perhaps you want to feel accomplished, productive, energized, or satisfied. Again, focus on what you do want. And as you do, allow yourself time with each one, sitting in each feeling, allowing it to fill your entire body and heart. Now open yourself up to allowing this intention to settle into your unconscious so that your thoughts and actions for the rest of the day today can be in alignment. Continue breathing with your eyes closed. Just let your attention start to focus back on my voice. Allow yourself to be guided by this intention today. Allow it to show you new possibilities you may not have seen before and guide your actions. Allow it to inspire the journey of your day with curiosity and maybe even a bit of playfulness. Now let's take 3 more deep breaths together. Take a deep inhale in, holding it for a beat, and exhale it out. Again, an even deeper breath than the one before, feeling it weave in and out of your muscles and cells. And exhale it out. Last time, your deepest breath yet, sending that oxygen through your entire body and solidifying once again your intention for the day. And when that breath reaches the top of your head and you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thanks so much for joining me for this meditation. I'm excited for the day you're about to have.
So you guys can start to come back to my voice. Maybe open your eyes, wiggle your fingers and your toes. And I just want to point out how law of attraction just happened right before our eyes, because I did not pre-choose that meditation. I randomly just went on YouTube and I picked that meditation. And if any of you were tuned in and listening to what he was saying, he was talking about focusing on what you want versus focusing on what you don't want. How much more in alignment could we be? That was amazing. If you guys want that, yeah, I'll send that. I'll send it in my channel on Telegram. If you're not in my channel, I can send that to you. You can message me privately on Instagram. I'm going to send that audio from YouTube in the chat right now. So I'm super grateful for you all. Thank you so much for being here for the first Woke Wednesday back for the summer. I'm super, super excited and grateful. And if any of you want to get in contact with me, I would love to talk to any of you, answer any questions you have, help you in any way that I can. Message me on Instagram or in the Discord or Telegram or anywhere where you feel like you can reach me. Get at me. Have an amazing rest of your night. I love each and every one of you. Stay blessed, stay abundant, stay woke.